to watch also Argentina. Now, as promised, let's return to our top story. The US Supreme Court has upheld President Trump's controversial travel ban in a major victory for the administration. Mica Mosbacher is a Republican strategist and member of the Trump 2020 National Advisory Committee. She's there in our Washington studios waiting to talk to me. Mica, welcome to the program. Your reaction to that US Supreme Court decision?
This is obviously a huge win for President Trump, but more importantly, it's a win for the American people and their national security. It's also a win for future presidents because the court upheld his presidential authority under the U.S. Immigration and National Act, stating that he certainly was within his constitutional rights to uphold the travel ban on these 8, or actually now I think it's 7 countries, which represent 8% of the Muslim population in the world. And what is so significant is that previous administrations had established that these countries were deemed a threat to the United States, to the U.S. security, and then it was almost virtually impossible to vet these individuals coming into the country.
You say it's a triumph. You say, Mica, that it's a triumph. We've had reactions throughout the course of the programme since we had that breaking news, and a lot of the contributors saying, well, it's not a surprise. If you have a Conservative majority, you're going to get that Conservative result. Is that what has happened here?
No, I think it's much more than that. If you look at the statistics, for example, the National Migration Center stated in March that we had a 30% increase of immigrants, illegal immigrants coming into this country, which represents over 203% versus March of 2017. That's a huge increase. We've got a porous border, and President Trump campaigned on establishing border security and protecting the laws and upholding the laws of this land.
So on this, you think a huge win. Let me bring in the other strand of this same story that's dominated the last fortnight, the separation policy. Do you accept that that policy is a complete mess?
The immigration system in this country has been broken for decades, and President Trump inherited this mess, which really goes back to the Obama administration, and to be fair, even back to the Bush administration.
Well, it doesn't, because they didn't separate children from their parents. I mean, the zero-tolerance policy, that is a Trump policy. That caused the separations. The executive order reversed that. You then had the border chief today saying they would stop criminal prosecutions of migrants. You have the Attorney General claiming that the prosecutions would continue. You have the White House saying the policy hasn't changed, only they've run out of resources. It is a muddle and a mess in terms of the messages and the policy, isn't it?
It's not, the president has not backed off of his zero tolerance, yet tough on immigration. Where we have the issue is in Congress. And we need Democrats to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And we came close to getting the immigration bill through the House last week. It was very, very close. They're now looking at a much more narrow bill so that families can remain unseparated, at least for the 20-day detention period that's been established by the Flores Agreement. But we need to stop this.
And when the President says the people should be sent back, no judges, no court cases, you comfortable with that, just throwing out to the judicial process?
We don't have any choice until we get better laws in this land. We don't have the resources. We don't have enough judges to attend to the asylum cases.
You're the richest country on the planet.
We still don't have it. We are in a mess. And the American people are looking at President Trump to keep his promises. His approval rating is now up to 47%, which is the equivalent of Clinton, Obama, and even Reagan during the same number of days in office. I think President Trump is keeping his promises. He is definitely going to build the border wall. There is money earmarked to do so. And I think American people feel that finally we have a president who's putting their security first.
Mica,
we always say, yes.
I'm terribly sorry to interrupt you, but we are simply out of time on the programme. We are very grateful, though, for your time joining us once again on today's Global. Thanks to you. Thanks for you also watching us. Hopefully we'll see you at the same time tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
Hello once again. Time we updated you on the weather prospects for both Canada and the USA for the next couple of days or so. First of all, let's take a look at the